Hey, how are you guys doing? Hope you guys are doing good. Back with another video. All right. So, um, this video is going to be kind of similar to the other ones. As you can see from the title, you know, the topic for this one's going to be taking it easy, taking it slow. Kind of relates to some of the past ideas. I have some general beliefs about life and things like that in general that I'm sure will change over time, but kind of what I'm experiencing and noting about my life and have over the last few years. The big thing with this one, though, is again, slowing down and taking it easier. Um, I think, you know, a lot of the time, at least for myself, there's points where, I am burnt out and not just like with work, right? Just burnt out with everything, life in general, the grind basically. And I came to this sort of conclusion of slowing down, and obviously, again, nothing I really discuss is like some groundbreaking topic, but um, actually applying it to your own life is sometimes difficult when you hear these quotes or people talking about it. But anyways, um, I really found myself applying this to my life more as of last year. It was in the summertime, and it was towards the end of summer. It was like mid August probably, and I was feeling extremely burnt out, really burnt out. Um, I just was struggling to really enjoy a lot of things that I liked a lot. Playing guitar, hanging out with friends, playing video games, like literally anything that I used to find enjoyment in, I was really struggling with a little bit. Not necessarily to the point of like completely, you know, depressed and things like that. But I was just noticing that like, oh, I'm not really finding much enjoyment in really anything right now. And so the idea for this had come to me through a video that I believe I had watched at one point, and I started applying it. So what I kind of started doing and what helped me was, after work, I usually like to have like a piece of fruit after work, just to have a snack, and usually we go to the gym, after work anyways. But on the days that we don't, I usually like to just have an apple or a banana and then do whatever. Um, but I really started deciding that, well, you know what? When I get off work, I'm going to have that piece of fruit or whatever, and I'm going to go sit on the deck for a while, take a break, ease myself basically. And I found that really helped me enjoy some of the smaller things in life. I was essentially really watching the sunset, and I know that that's something that may sound a little bit cringe, even though it shouldn't be, right? But it really was impactful on my life. I at that point realized, okay, I see what people mean by slowing down, right? And not always being on the grind 24/7, because that's kind of how I work. Um, I might not always be doing the best thing as far as self development or whatever the case is, but I'm very much a person of, well, one, routine, but also like always doing something. I always need to be doing something. And doing nothing, even if it was even if the other thing was like playing video games or whatever, right? I saw the doing nothing as like a waste of time. And again, last year is when I kind of came to that conclusion of like, I've got it all wrong. Um, so again, it's a good idea to kind of give yourself a bit of grace when it comes to these sort of things. If you're like me and you are constantly feeling like you need to be doing something, and if you aren't doing something, then you're kind of just wasting time, even if the other thing is entertainment, right? um, it really is helpful to take those moments and just realize. And something that I heard was, when you're doing something, right, like when you're, like, for example, we'll take that same example, sitting out on the deck eating a piece of fruit for 20-30 minutes, hanging out outside in the summertime, um, is to pay attention to your senses more deliberately. Specifically, uh, what I had heard was touch, right? Um, really understand and get into the habit of, like, actually feeling the item that you're holding. Like, for example, for me, it would have been, the banana, or the apple, or even the chair. How does the chair feel? Um, like, just texture. And what that's gonna do is basically ground you to your environment a little bit more and force you to be more present in that moment, and really take in and, I guess, appreciate more of what you're doing or not doing, right? um, I do think that was a big thing for me, was just, okay, this pen, like, it's metallic, kind of plasticky a little bit, um, you know, that sort of thing. And you could do this with anything. You could do this with literally anything. You could be sitting at your desk and just put your hand on the desk or on the mouse, or holding your water bottle. Just ground yourself with something, and it will force you to be more present in your life. The main reason why this sort of thing is helpful, like I believe I mentioned earlier, is it's going to help you not burn out as quickly. You may still feel burnout, obviously. None of these things are cure-alls for every situation, but if you have the time, take the time. Take it slowly. Because the other thing is like they always say, like the saying goes, Rome wasn't built in a day. So putting more effort into something when you may already be tired or exhausted or, again, burnt out, you're going to get diminishing returns over time, right? And so that's what this kind of helps with, is it takes you out of that space of always feeling you need to be grinding, and taking that time to really feel and enjoy life, right? Because the other thing that's going to happen is, if you're not happy right now, you're not going to be happy when you're successful. The success is going to bring things with it that may bring some more enjoyment to your life, right? But that was, again, another thing that I heard where it just completely made sense to me. Like, there's a lot of people who have plenty of money and are far from being happy with that, or their status or whatever. And it always feels like there's something to do, right? And there is always something to do. But I think adding nothing to that list of to-dos is important. I'm not saying do nothing for, a year straight and just mess around all the time. But what I'm saying is take the time during your day, the 15, 20, 30 minutes. You can find something, even 10 minutes, 5 minutes. Find some allotted amount of time and just really connect with something grounded, and take in whatever it is in your surroundings that you can find just slight enjoyment in. Like, oh, the sunset's gorgeous today, right? The temperature feels really nice, or whatever the case is. Find something to take in and really grasp on a real internal level, rather than just like, oh, yep, that looks cool. Really pay attention to said thing and really take it in for what it's worth. So, again, I hope you guys got something from this. If you guys liked the video, drop a like. If you had some other thoughts on this sort of topic, Let me know in the comments. If you want to see more videos like this, then click the subscribe button. And yeah, again, I appreciate it, and I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. See ya.